Don't forget. Hello, everyone, and I want to welcome you to a live stream party that I am here having with my authors, my co-authors of this beautiful book, Infinite Impact: Stories of Alignment, that launches today, this morning. It goes live. And wow, this has been a labor of love that came out pretty quickly. And in the next hour or so, we are going to talk to you about this book and the meaning behind it, give each of our authors a voice, because you're definitely going to want to hear what they have to say. And we are going to reveal some exciting bonuses to you that relate to the book, and just welcome you here for the next hour, where we get to talk about getting into alignment and the power of that. Now, by my definition, getting into alignment and staying in alignment means living in line with your deepest values, beliefs, and needs. And many people don't know what they value or what they really need the most, let alone their beliefs. We might know some of our surface beliefs, but we also have a lot of beliefs that we created and developed and nurtured early on in life. A lot of times when we were too young and underdeveloped to even know what those beliefs really meant for our lives. And yet these are the very things that are creating our decisions and our actions and our outcomes in life. And I'd like to start by taking you on a little journey of alignment. And then I want to introduce our authors one at a time. We'll celebrate. Then I'm going to take a deeper dive with two of our authors, thank my team, give you a special announcement at the end, and we'll get you on with your day. It would be really helpful to me in this moment if wherever you are watching, you could drop us a little comment to say congratulations to these wonderful authors for having the courage to share their voice and their chapter and their story with you, and just be a part of this beautiful moment in our lives. The next thing that I would like to do is I'm going to share my screen here for you, and I'd like to share our book sales page, which you can go to learn more about this book while we are live streaming. And I know Megan on our team is going to be flashing the website along as we go. But you can come over here and order your book at any online retailer that you like. You'll want to come back here to step 2, which is to collect your bonuses immediately. And then, of course, we would love you to share this message with your family and friends. The bonus that I'd really like to highlight in this moment is a free 4-week group alignment coaching program that I am facilitating starting September 25th. That will hold more meaning for you as we continue to talk throughout this live stream. We have additional bonuses as well, which I will come back and share with you here in just a bit. But to kind of bring you up to speed, I want to take you back to December of 2023. And I got this little whisper. I got a calling. And, you know, I'm old enough now to where I listen to that voice inside, my deeper intuition telling me to do a thing. And this particular voice said, it's time to write the book. Now, this has actually been an ongoing joke because I've been launching books for almost 20 years and yet didn't have a book of my own. I always thought the book that I would write would be a book about how to launch your book, but something else was trying to emerge. And so I simply asked myself this question. I share it with you because I think it's a question you might want to ask yourself. So I said, of the thousands of people that I've worked with over the years, what do they all have in common? Yes, they were all authors and many of them were speakers, but the deeper truth dropped in. They were all out of alignment. You see, when you are living outside of your deepest values, beliefs, and needs, the world seems messy. It's frustrating. You're confused, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're angry. You just feel off in your life. You have blind spots in your life. A lot of times that misalignment helps an author to feel really scared of visibility. Why would I want to stick my neck out in the world? Why would I want to grab a megaphone and talk about my book and promote myself if secretly I don't feel ready for that? I don't feel in alignment with that. So this work is something that I've always done. I just didn't have a name for it, because people look at me as like the website person, the book launch person, the strategist. But actually, in order to get an author ready for launch and to help them grow their brand online, I've had to get them into alignment. And so in December of 2023, the book that wanted to emerge was the book that offered people a process to get into alignment on their own. So my original book of Infinite Impact was starting its own creation of being born into the world in December of 2023. By January, thank you, Kathleen. I was going to rip it off my bookshelf back there, but it's fine. So by January, just weeks later, I was already sending chapters of that book out to beta readers. By the end of February, we had a final locked, edited manuscript off to the publishers. Within 2 weeks after that, I was holding a copy of this book in my hand, which just blew my mind because it was just 2 months earlier that this idea dropped in. And I'm so glad I listened to that whisper. It was just another week later that I was on stage in front of 250 entrepreneurs sharing about alignment, dropping them into a visualization to help them get into alignment and doing book signing. And just 2 weeks later, I was running a 3-day conference in Austin as a pre-launch party. Some of you were there. It was an incredibly magical, unforgettable, once in a million lifetimes kind of a moment. It was really powerful to be in that room. And in fact, it was being in that room that some of you met me for the first time and you had no clue what was about to shift in your life. But now looking back, it's pretty fun. So we pre-launched the book in April, the beginning of April, and by May 7th, the book was out into the world. And by June, we had a group of people that wanted to get into alignment. I'm hoping those of you who were founding certified alignment guides could raise your hand here. I'm so incredibly grateful for that group, putting their trust in me and in this process, raising their hand to help other people get into alignment because they understood the power of this message and what it could mean for somebody's life. Just absolutely amazing. And we also started our 4-week group alignment coaching program, which again is going to now be a free bonus for anybody who orders a copy of this book today on Amazon. Come back, you can get access to our bonus packages, which we will again talk more in detail later. But this all happened very fast. Later that month, I'm speaking in front of 2,000 entrepreneurs. And then it was like this slippery slide of speaking engagements and events and keynote stages and book signings. I didn't plan on any of this. When you think about it, it was just December of 2023 that I listened to that whisper. And this December of 2024, the whisper hit again. And it said, it's time to write the next book. And I thought, you can't be serious. Last year was quite an investment of energy and time. And yet the whisper was there and I knew better. I knew I had to listen to that voice. And so I started thinking about it. And there was somebody who sent me an email with one keyword in it, compilation, that triggered this thought that when I started launching books early in my career, they were all anthology books. They were multi-author compilation books. Think Chicken Soup for the Soul, where each author was contributing a chapter. And I thought, aha, what if we created our own anthology book? So in January of this year, I went to our certified alignment guides and I said, what do you think of this idea? Should we do the thing? And they liked the idea. So they said, heck yeah, let's do it. I went to a couple of other select people in my network that I felt really represented a great story of the before and after, who were really committed to living a life in alignment and using their business as a platform to be in service to other people. So as we move through, you will see we now have 12 contributing authors. Not all could be here today, but they are promoting online, and we are celebrating at an in-person conference the next few days in Boulder, Colorado. And it's a really, really special time. So I just want to congratulate everyone. Just mere months later, we now have this book in hand with your sacred story of getting into alignment. And for many of you, these are untold, intimate, private stories that have been published. It was not easy for these authors to just slap their most intimate truths on paper for you, but they did it because they believe in helping to guide others into the light so that you can shine your light, so you can live your life in alignment, so that you can be a more positive influence and community leader, no matter if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, if you are employed, if you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what you do for your career, where you live, the type of person you are. This is really something that everybody is uniquely qualified for, and there's something for you here, and you will really experience that as you see the treat that we have that's about to unfold for you. So with that, I would love to introduce the authors of this book, and we're going to do it one at a time. And what I'm going to do is give you a little sound bite for what their chapter is about. And then I've asked them each to prepare to share with you who their avatar is, what their vision is, what their why is, and what they really want to say to that person. So what the heck does that just mean? The way that I get people into alignment is through something called a foundational 4 framework. And they are based on 4 very common business pillars of avatar, vision, why, and values. To run through those really briefly, and then we'll invite Dr. Ryan to share first. Avatar is the one person that you are in service to. And in business, it's commonly taught that you have more of an audience of people. So I always found that problematic, because if I'm trying to cater to everyone, that's very difficult and stressful. And I have to make sure that my message is general enough to appeal to everybody. Instead, I advocate for picking one person that comes to you naturally. Who's your person? This is the representative of the collective that you could impact. Now, if you are not an entrepreneur, perhaps there's an avatar for you as a manager in your business or employee. You're still impacting and influencing people no matter who you are or what your title or role is. We all have an ability to influence. But for entrepreneurs, that's where this work began. So each of the authors here have one avatar that they are intimately connected to, that they are uniquely qualified to serve in the world. Then we hop into vision. Instead of having a vision of, I want to help 10 million people in my life, which is beautiful and great, I advocate that we simplify that into something that we can each achieve every single day. For example, my avatar is a woman named Heather. My vision is to help individuals in front of me to feel heard, seen, and valued. And now I'm so clear on what my vision is, I have the ability to achieve it in every single moment, even to listen to myself and value myself. So it's a really powerful piece of clarity. We move into why, which we distill down into one word. Oftentimes, a why for an entrepreneur is because they have a heart of service. They want to help people, which again is beautiful. But why do you feel so compelled to help people? Like an onion, when we peel back the layers and go deeper and deeper and deeper, we find that all of your motivation really lies in one primary unmet need. A need that you have that you probably got in your childhood years. You know, for me, I felt trapped. I felt like it was safer to be invisible. So my unmet need is for freedom. When I have freedom of voice and I can express, be my authentic self with all of my weirdness and my quirks and all of my greatness bundled up into one package, that's when I feel the most free in the world. And it was always something that I was striving for. I just didn't know it consciously. So each of the authors all have identified their why. And now they're in service of that why, not just for themselves, but for their avatar. And that means all of you watching. So as I introduce these authors, you will definitely find a couple that you feel like you really resonate with, that those like, wow, that person's my person. And it's a really beautiful experience. So Dr. Ryan Williamson, I'm going to invite you to the stage and first and foremost, congratulate you for your book launch. The Incredible Brain launches today on Amazon. We are very excited for you. And Ryan's chapter in this beautiful anthology book is all about healing childhood trauma, reclaiming authenticity. And now Ryan helps others live longer, healthier, impactful lives as a board certified neurologist and coach. So, Ryan, the stage is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Amber, for the warm introduction. And again, just so happy to be here with everybody on a very special day. So I am Dr. Ryan Williamson, and I'm a board certified neurologist and proud Navy veteran. My avatar's name is Steven, and my personal vision is to help individuals in front of me live longer, healthier, more impactful lives. My why is validation. And what I really want all the Stevens out there to know is that your health and your happiness are well within your control.
I love that. Thank you so much. I was just trying to pull up here it is. What's so cool about this book, and I know this is kind of janky, so it's fine. Just go with it. It is a full color, beautiful book. So you will be able to see Ryan's foundational 4 framework listed here. You'll be able to see his bio and then read his chapter. At the end of each chapter, we have, a colored photo and then a space for reflection. So after you read each chapter, what really emerged for you? What came up for you? What whisper did you hear? So next, thank you so much, Ryan. I would like to bring Darryll Stinson onto the stage. Megan, I will let you decide how to make that happen if we need to remove somebody. Hey, there he is. Hey, Darryll. Darryll broke his cycle of hesitation by meeting his need for value and now helping others feel cared for. So Darryll, we'd love for you to please take the stage and share your alignment.
Oh, man, so excited, man. Thank you for having me. And congratulations to Ryan. I got my copy, baby. So I want it signed when I see you in person at the Elevate Summit. And I also, if it's not too much to ask, I want a personal note promising me that you will also come and share with our audience, okay? Yes. So congratulations to Ryan. For me personally, my vision is to help the person in front of me to feel loved and valued. You know, the larger part is so that humanity can be healed by their stories and services. And so my role in that is just when I'm across from people like Ryan and all the people on this call is just to help them to feel loved, seen, and valued. The why is because I needed that myself. I didn't feel like I had it growing up. I felt like I was always looking for it. And they say that, you know, when you can't find what you're looking for, that means you might be called to build it. And so, you know, that's what this is about for me. And being a part of this amazing launch is just a season of my life of what it's like to be a part of something bigger than myself. I think that's what the world is craving for, more collaborations like this, where we all can say, man, I'm a genius, I'm an expert in my own lane, but what's happening is so much bigger than any of us. That's why it takes all of us. So thank you so much for just having me. I love y'all. I can't wait to see you at the conference.
Yeah, thank you. I do apologize. Apparently, even though we did our due diligence up front to make sure we had 15 screens available on our StreamYard account, for some reason it's only allowing 10 in right now. So Ryan is still here. You just can't see him. As is Amber, Parr, Burdett, Kathleen, Flanagan. We're just going to do a rotation and try to make that even so that you all get to experience each other and enjoy this moment. So just for viewer knowledge. I'd like to bring Jeff Ryan up, who dismantled walls built from his father's distance, found wholeness, and now helps others feel accepted. Jeff, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you, everybody. Hi, I'm Jeff Ryan, and I am a personal and professional development coach. My avatar's name is Jake, and my vision is to help individuals in front of me feel accepted, included, and a true sense of belonging. And when I do that, my why is satisfied, and my why is wholeness, because I truly feel and believe that when we can be accepted, included, and have that sense of belonging for the wholeness of who we are, for our totality, then that's when we live our most authentic and real lives. So what I really want to say to all my Jakes out there, Guy, I know you're looking to make an impact in the world and to do so in a way that feels really right to you. And you may not even have figured out what that is yet. And what I want you to know is you don't have to diminish parts of yourself to be accepted and included. I can help you get there. I can help you find your impact. And I know that you can live your vision and live it every single day in every single moment. Look forward to seeing you.
Beautiful. Love that, Jeff. Thank you. Excited to bring Mr. Michael Mammina to the stage. And what we are doing is we are actually going in order of the sequence to how you will experience the chapters in the book themselves. So Michael Mammina overcame childhood rejection, embraced authenticity, and helps others feel loved and connected. Michael, thank you.
Thank you, Amber. It is a blessing, first of all, to be part of this amazing group of people and to be here today. So my name is Michael Mammina, and I'm a master transformational life coach. I'm a retreat leader, and I am a certified alignment guide, which makes me very happy. So my avatar's name is Dean, and my vision is to help individuals in front of me to feel connected, accepted, and loved. And my why is acceptance, because as you will read in my chapter, as a child and all through my life, I didn't feel accepted. And what I really want the Deans of the world out there to know is that the old stories that we told ourselves to navigate the world as children don't have to be our reality today. We can let them go because you are worthy. You're worthy of the life you truly deserve, exactly as you are. So always remember to fly, F-L-Y, first love yourself. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Michael. This is so much fun. Oh, I can't wait to bring Jen X up to the stage, who turned classroom struggles into gifts of kinesthetic emotional intelligence, restoring confidence in others. It's amazing. Jen, my love.
Thank you for having me. This is so beautiful. What a beautiful community. So my avatar is Katie, who's approximately 47 years old, 47, 48. And she's someone who's doubtful yet knowing at the same time. It looks like she's kind of got it all together on the outside, yet inside she's struggling, looking for more, and knows what to do and where to go, just doesn't have the confidence to really do it, and needs to find the strength to listen to her body. And the vision around that for me is to really help people feel safe in their bodies enough to listen. And my why is really because that was me. And when I came into that strength and that confidence and ability to listen to my body, to help me make the decisions that I need to in my life, to help me uncover my own intelligence, because I doubted it for so long, my entire life changed. And I felt so empowered, so inspired, so ready. And I want that for everybody. So that is my why. And the value around that is real validation, accepting that we are who we are, when we are, how we are, and just moving from that place inside out as opposed to outside in. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'll give a shout out to you because you have your book coming out September 30th. Your Body is Speaking. And it is a truly phenomenal book, as is Dr. Ryan's. So just shout out to that as well. Would like to bring featured author Kathleen Quinn into the conversation. And Kathleen, after losing her husband, redefined self-worth, building a joyful new business in retirement. So Kathleen, there's so much more to that story. Let's have you speak.
Thank you, Amber. My name is Kathleen Quinn, and I'm a mindset coach. I've been certified by Levin Life Coaching Academy. I'm a certified alignment guide and a grief educator. My avatar's name is Grace, And my vision is to help the people in front of me feel grounded, free, and fulfilled. And every time that happens for me in a day, my why just bubbles up. It is joy. My why is joy. And what I want all the graces out there in the world, both women and men, to know are 3 real truths. 1, Michael already said it. You are already more than enough exactly as you are. 2, alignment is a choice, and living it is a practice where decisions get so much easier because you're honoring your values, and you do that by developing the skills of setting and holding boundaries. And the last thing I'll say is to Grace is that you have an abundance within you right now to create the very next best chapter of your life. And I see you and I believe in you, and I can't wait to walk alongside you on your transformational journey. Thank you, Amber. And thanks to everybody here. So good to be a part of it.
Yeah, a lot of good energy in this room in this moment. Nancy Burtenshaw released Trauma and Overgiving. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Found her worth and now runs powerful retreats. So Nancy, would love to hear from you, please.
Yeah, I just want to take a breath. My heart is just racing. So I just want to breathe for a second and just say thank you for allowing me to be in this space. I'm very honored and very grateful. My name is Nancy Burtenshaw, and I'm an educator. I also work in the health and wellness space as a yoga instructor, breath facilitator, and empowerment coach. My avatar is Ellie Joe, and my vision is to help individuals really learn to trust themselves and to feel valued. And my why is that number 1 primary need Amber was referring to, which is valued. For me, that means being honored for who I am, being appreciated. And the message that I have for Ellie Joe and all the Ellie Joes out there is this. Stop right now underselling yourself, overproving yourself, and deferring to others for wisdom, because you got it all right here. You are enough. You know enough. And when you rest inside that, I'm telling you, life becomes so much easier. Okay. So thank you so much.
Yes, that is so true. And you might start becoming aware of patterns of, alignment within these authors. And there are some really fundamental, simple truths of how to live with more abundance, or live free, or live joyful. And it's just that along the way, the human experience unfolds and it kicks us around, and we forget our true alignment. And when we step into that, it's just the most beautiful well of peace and joy and abundance. It's really pretty remarkable. And you've experienced it at times for sure. But I think there's this conscious choice to step into that more and more and more frequently until that's just your operating mode. And that's what all of us are here doing. So next, I want to bring Courtney Weidner up to the stage, who overcame burnout, honored her need for love, and made an overnight move to start fresh. Courtney, over to you.
Hi, friends. Oh my gosh. I know. Maybe it's just me. I'm shaking. I'm vibrating so hard right now because this is just the coolest thing ever. So yes, congrats to everybody on the launch today, because this is just so amazing. And I can't wait to celebrate with y'all this week. This is going to be so cool. Yeah. So hello, everybody. My name is Courtney Weidner. I am a connector and life catalyst. My avatar's name is Sabrina. And Sabrina is in a place right now where she's feeling completely disconnected from herself, in burnout, and knowing that there's something more for her, but she has no idea what it is. And my vision, what I'm here to do, is I help humans feel belonging, love, and alive. And my why is love, because I know that that's the answer to everything in this world. And what I most want Sabrina to know is, babe, it's time to get selfish as fuck with your self-care and put yourself first. And I know it feels weird and it feels wrong, and you don't even know what that looks like. And I want to help you find that out. Because as soon as you start loving yourself, everything changes and all the answers you're looking for come. And that's what aliveness feels like. So thank you, Amber. And thank you, everyone.
Love you, girl. Amber Parr Burdett to the stage, shifted from overwhelm to balance, setting boundaries that nurture love and connection. Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber Parr Burdett. I'm a book coach and an editor. Just thank you, first of all, for letting me share my story, because what I really want to say is there is so much noise in the world right now, and not enough people are trusting their inner voice or even taking the time to find their inner voice. And that's what I want to encourage people to do. Find their inner voice, find their message, and share that story with the world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to bring Claudia up to the stage, who slowed down, embraced authenticity, and now helps others safely express themselves. Oh, can you hear me?
I actually cannot hear you, Amber, for some reason.
Can you hear me now? Did I kick off? What? That nurture love and connection. Amber, oh, can you hear me?
I actually cannot hear you, Amber, for some reason.
No.
Okay, I'll go. Is that a go?
Yes. Can you hear me now? Are we okay? Maybe we just had a weird tech lag.
Sorry.
Yes,
Thank you.
please,
So,
Claudia, my love.
name is
Go
Claudia
for it.
Herasme, and I am a reinvention coach and alignment guide. And my avatar's name is Mary. And my vision for Mary and for myself is to help those that in front of me to feel safe, expressing their most authentic, untamed selves. And my why is safety, because what I have realized in this process of getting to alignment and doing a lot of coaching is that I hadn't feel safe in a very sort of like interior way to fully express who I am. And in fact, the title of my chapter is called The Lioness Within, because I had always felt that kind of energy, that roar, that interior force that has wanted to express, but that I always tamed it because it felt like too much. And it felt like maybe it wouldn't be accepted in the world. And so my message to all my Marys out there is that you are so beautiful and so valuable. And we need to hear you. We need to hear your roar. And it all starts with cultivating that relationship with yourself and getting into alignment, because it is about bringing to the world your gifts, whatever they are, and you are amazing just as you are.
Thank you, Claudia. Gosh, I feel the same way. I'm like super jittery over here. My heart is racing. I'm just like, I feel so much joy in this moment. I'm really trying to contain myself. Okay, so next we have Lynn Morgan Carpenter to the stage, who answered the whisper for something more, finding empowerment through guiding others. So Lynn, over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's so nice to be here with all of you. Love seeing your faces. Cannot wait to see you in person in Boulder and Colorado. Literally been waiting for that moment for so long. And yes, my name's Lynn Morgan Carpenter. I'm an intuitive. I'm a transformational coach and a certified alignment guide. And my avatar is Samantha. Sweet, sweet Samantha. And my vision is to help individuals in front of me to feel inspired, energized, and empowered. And my why is empowerment. And the reason why, which you'll read in my chapter, is that like Jen, I went through and had classroom struggles, and that left a big imprint that I carried well into my adult years. And because of that experience, in addition to having this really deep, big feeling of a calling to more, but feeling conflicted of, well, I've had these past struggles, so how big could it be, or how much more could it be? And I went through such a tussle for so many years. So like Darryll was sharing, I became what I needed back in those early 20s, that person that could understand the feeling I was feeling inside. And so those that are in front of me, I want to make sure that they're feeling inspired with their life, that they're feeling energy, and that they are empowered. And what I really want to share with all the Samanthas in the world is that the whisper for more, that is your inner calling. It is connected to a deep, beautiful place, which is your soul. It deserves your attention, and you are absolutely capable of experiencing it and living it in this lifetime. So Amber, thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. I love each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. And last, but certainly not least, I am honored to bring Kathleen Flanagan to the stage, who I have known longer than anybody else in this room and in most rooms. And it's especially meaningful, Kathleen, to see this story get launched into the world. Kathleen turned childhood trauma into recognition of inner safety, now helping those suffering in silence. Kathleen, over to you.
Well, thank you, everyone, for all of this. And all of a sudden, it just hit me of what's happening.
Yeah.
I did, just a preface part of this is that last week on my final call, I was a blubbering idiot on our podcast because I realized that this is the story that I have always needed to share. And it was the story I searched my whole life for. And thank God I never found it until today, because it's so powerful and it's heartfelt. It's the story I never wanted anyone to know about me, because my avatar is Jane, and she was always accomplished, very successful woman. Everybody admired her. She was strong, a leader, but she suffered in silence all the time. There was always an angst deep within, and she couldn't figure out what was going on. And nobody ever cared about how Jane didn't feel value, seen, or heard, regardless if she was. She never felt that inside because of what happened in her childhood. And I never felt safe. And that was probably the biggest thing. And just to give a little preference is that when this story first came out was in 2009, when it first came out, and my mother died 2 years later, and my father died the day before we had to turn this in. So this story is really, really heartfelt. And there's still a lot of grief going around. But what I want everyone to know is you don't have to suffer in silence. You've never had to, and you've always been safe, regardless of how you feel. You've always been safe. You're always taken care of. And you are so loved and needed more than you realize on this earth. And that is the biggest lesson I learned, is how valuable I am. Because if it wasn't for alignment to understand the safety, I don't know if I would be where I am today, because my motto has always been, you're safe. And not knowing that that was my why. So I'm so grateful to be here. I know my life just changed today. Right now, it's changing like, whew, and I'm so excited, and I'm scared, and I'm going for it anyways.
Yeah. Oh man, I am Jane. In fact, I'm many of the avatars. It's interesting how much you can see we have in common. And, when you are expressing your story, when you are marketing your business, it doesn't have to be exact. Jane, in this example, is a representative of a whole collective that Kathleen is influencing, of every different type of person you can even imagine. And so the fact that, she has this process, she has this story, she has this empowerment, it gives her that differentiation in the marketplace. And it also gave her life back. in many ways. It gave me my life back, and it allowed me to be free in my business and in my marketing and in these relationships. So I think you can all experience and hopefully appreciate the purity of these individuals and of this moment. And again, we are here celebrating the book launch of Infinite Impact Stories of Alignment, as you can see on our book sales page. You can order the book today on any of these retailers. Come back to collect your bonuses, including a free 4-week alignment group coaching program where I am facilitating your alignment. So in week 1, I get you into alignment. And then we spend the next 3 weeks unpacking that and helping you to really understand who you are, to trust who you are, and to not blow up your life and create chaos. It's actually just the opposite of that. It's to live in line with those deepest beliefs, needs, and values. So that is here for you for free. I am also offering an aligned authorship course. So if any of you watching have that whisper to write your own book, I talk to you about what that process is really like. I'm also giving away a copy of Infinite Impact, the original book. And in just a bit, I'm going to go deeper interviewing Kathleen and Lynn and allow them to share their bonuses with you. But first, I want to spend more time with all of the authors and just open mic it. And again, I really am frustrated you can't all be on the same live screen at the exact same time. So Jen, Darryll, Kathleen, Flanagan, just let us know when it's time to rotate you in. Thank you, Megan, for facilitating all of this on the back end. And I just want to spend about 10 minutes or so saying, open mic, who wants to share, what this experience has been like for you from maybe the moment that you made the decision to write this chapter, or something that shifted for you when you were writing, or an aha or breakthrough that came on the other side, or perhaps it was just in the countdown to the launch itself. And I've noticed many of you sharing so boldly in such a fun way, Claudia, with such deep honesty, Kathleen and Courtney. I mean, you all have really shown up for this process. So maybe it was in the countdown, or maybe it was this moment, like Kathleen just shared. But does anybody feel called to share what this was like for you?
Sure, Amber. For me, I had built a fort around myself so that I wouldn't be visible. I built this fort to protect myself, because my father said, engage your brain before you engage your mouth. And so that really kept me from really wanting to speak out a lot or to be visible unless I was in a specific role. So what this really helped me to do, getting into alignment helped with that. And then now writing the book, or writing my chapter of the book, sharing the story of how, my voice was squished. I felt diminished. I diminished bits and pieces of myself. And now it's out in the world. I can't take it back. People are buying copies, like people are reading it, and being really visible and out in the world, and knowing that what I've gone through, knowing that my story might help somebody else dealing with their relationships with a difficult parent, or, finding their way in the world, finding their purpose, and allowing them to step into the spotlight, allowing them to be more visible so that they can have an impact. So, I really want to thank you for this gift. I've always wanted to be a published author. Now I am. And so this is it's a lifelong dream, and you got me out, you got my feet wet, and look out world, here comes the book later on. So I love you, Amber. Love you. You have made an infinite impact in my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share? Ryan, yes, please. And then Claudia.
So my fellow co-authors know that I approach most things from the lens of neuroscience, and I want to share with all of you and everyone watching this that this process of alignment is directly reflective of the active changes happening in your brain that help you achieve more, find your purpose, find your why, all of which is so integral to being connected and part of a mission much bigger than ourselves. And this is very real, and this matters. And again, everyone on the stage here with me will hear this in 2 days, but a big part of success in all of our lives is learning to lean into discomfort. Because when you choose to do that, and you train your brain, you train your mind to push forward in spite of fear, in spite of doubt, in spite of past insecurities, childhood trauma, tears, whatever those rate limiting steps are, when you make a conscious effort to do that, you are literally changing the structure of your brain, not only in this moment, but in every moment forward. And you make it more likely that you will succeed into the future because of these changes to literally the connections between your neurons. So I just wanted to nerd out on that for a second and share it and just congratulate all of you and say I'm so proud of each one of you for overcoming that fear and leaning into it. And if you're listening to this, I truly want you to feel the validation and the resonance of that, because again, this is not fluff. This is not, woo. There is science behind this. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate that. Claudia, and then we'll invite Jen to the stage. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that me? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm having technical issues, but I am so excited to be here. And I also wanted to talk more because I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you, Amber, for making this possible. I also had dreams of being a writer, but that I had been tampering down. And these just kind of came so naturally, so organically, that it just felt so good. And also a big shout out to Aiden De Palma, because he was the best editor and really made the process so easy and so kind of non-triggering. Because he gave us structure, he gave us support, and it was really great. And as I'm hearing everyone share, I just really wanted to say that it is so important. What I am finding in my life is that the more I share and accept myself, first of all, the more I share, it feels like I'm accepting myself to deeper degrees. Yeah. And also what that means is that then that kind of like lifts me up. And it goes back to that, what I was saying about my why and that inner roar that is within me, that I am now opening the valve, so to speak, for it to come out and really create that sense of inner belonging. Because for me, I think that was also what was happening. And I want to invite everyone to know again that whatever is within you is going to be beautiful if we let go of all of the conditioning and really get curious about what is within us that wants to come out. So that is my invitation to everyone.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank
that
you,
was
Amber.
beautiful. Jen.
So I love your process. I love the journey that you take us on. And something that I really want to highlight about it that I think is so extraordinary is that in your work, your handling and your guides and your structure is handling the most vulnerable part of ourselves. And it can be terrifying, and it can feel so many different things at the same time. And yet somehow you've created this pathway for us to follow that feels safe. And when we feel safe, we can open up more and more and more, which creates more realization, more depth, more inspiration, and a deep sense of empowerment, which I absolutely found in the process. I thought I did a lot of work in my life. I really did. And then I met you, and you take me on this unbelievable journey. And it was like, oh my God, there's so much more to go. And you really unlocked so much of me. And I am so grateful for you and your work. I think it's wildly unique. And just again, repeating and highlighting for a second, because I think it's so important. The structure held us. It held me. And I think I can speak for all of us. I felt held the whole time. which allowed that safety, and then all the other layers. And I think that's very special. It's such a gift. And I just thank you for your heart, your soul, your passion, your commitment, and this community. So thank you.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cry like a bucket after this, bucket of tears. So we just have a couple more minutes. Would anybody else like the opportunity to share? Darryll, thank you.
Yeah, totally. Gen X always bringing it, man. Love her. Two things for me really quickly. The process of, you asked about our personal process with going through alignment. And for me, because alignment in one area always breeds alignment in all areas, right? Like when I go to a chiropractor, he doesn't just align one portion of my spine. He has to get everything in alignment. And if my hips is off, that needs to be adjusted, and so on and so forth. And what the process did to me is it called my entire life, not just my business, into total full alignment. I mean, like I was updating my environment. I was revamping my operations in my business. I was changing my attire, my wardrobe. Like everything was like, dude, this is like part of yourself, but not all of yourself, right? And so I would say that that was a very powerful process for me. So I would tell people, like, you might have even heard some of the business stuff before, maybe. But even diving into that cave, I would just be open to greater alignment than what's even available from just filling in the blanks of this process, which is powerful when it's in itself. Second thing I just want to mention is the process that we all went through as authors to contribute individually. My experience was this, that I had all of this stuff I wanted to say about alignment. And then there was can I just say how I want to say it? There was a death to self, and so that we can a sacrifice for the greater good, right? Like there had to be a hey, not just about your personal. It's not your personal book. It is where we all have aligned to this alignment. And I say that because all that was facilitated really well by the team, and there were so many. Amber probably can talk about that process. But for our listeners, what I want to emphasize as someone who works with communicators and helps people to captivate their audiences and lead them and transform their lives powerfully, that the future of communication, listen to me closely, requires that type of attention and detail. It requires you to know your avatar on a deep emotional, psychological, spiritual level, and to go through the due diligence to even, weave everyone's individual things together to make sure that the super avatar at the front of all of this still feels seen, heard, and valued. It was master message architect. So kudos to Amber for navigating and pioneering that project and finding a way to tie all of these beautiful, colorful threads together in a tapestry. Well done. I see you, homie.
Dang. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. That's hyper awareness right there. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Michael, Courtney.
So I'm loving hearing all of this. And, the thing that's hitting me when we talk about, like, what is the result of being in alignment? I often say to people that you could be in a room full of people and the hardest person to ever see is yourself. And this process truly allows you to see yourself on such a profound level that you think you've seen yourself, but let me tell you, girl, you have not seen yourself. So when you start really getting into alignment and understand its value, I always say it's like a magic elixir, because it was for me. What it did is it completely shifted every aspect, just like Darryll was saying, of my life, to the point where I actually relocated my entire home. I changed everything about myself because I knew my purpose and I knew my reason, my why for being on this planet. And when you can live in that beautiful elixir of life, it's a game changer. And again, as Ryan was saying, this is medical. This is not woo woo. Yeah, there's that whole part of it. But you know what? When we tap into ourselves and learn to really trust our truth And that's what this process can do for everyone on the planet, I believe. It's a beautiful gift that you can give yourself. So really give yourself this opportunity for this gift. It changed my life. I wept when I actually fell into alignment for the first time. And I've done a lot of work up until this moment, up until that moment in my life. Game changer. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, universe, for downloading this. And guess what? It could be yours for 99 cents on Kindle.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Beautiful. Courtney, and then
I love all of it.
Anybody else, you'll let me know. Otherwise, we will move forward. Okay, Kathleen. Okay. Yes. Courtney,
All right.
thank you.
This is what I really want everyone to know that's listening to this. I know all of us are sharing and we're all like high on life right now. And Sabrina's probably listening to this thinking like, I don't even know what that feels like. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. Y'all are smoking something like, I don't even know. And I want you to know that when I first found Amber and Infinite Impact and this alignment work, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. Here I am going to this event about books in your business, and I'm not writing an insurance book. So what the hell am I here for? Like, I had no idea. And I want you to know, you don't have to have a business to do this work. Number one.
Yeah.
Don't need a business. Number two, the why was the most impactful thing out of all of this for me, because the why is the thing. When you figure out what that is for yourself, once you have it and you receive it, it's that thing that makes you feel so alive and so in awe of this life and so fucking happy to be here and excited to get up every day. And you know what you're here to do. Like, it is this knowing that I can't even describe to you, but it's available to you. And the feeling of aliveness that I know we all came here to feel, you find it when you find your why. And when you're living your vision and you know what that is, and you'll get that in Infinite Impact too, or the alignment process, however you choose to find your alignment. There's many channels in which to do it. You can hire a guide, do the 4-week, do it yourself in the book, The Long Way, like I did. And we did it at Books and Business too. And so it's like I had a quickie, right? But then doing the rest of the work in the book, like, it is so worth it. And you're worth it. And you can't even fathom what's on the other side of it. Because what has happened in my life in a year and a half is mind blowing. And to echo Jen, yes, it's scary because everything in your life might change. My question to you is this: do you want it to stay the same as it is right now forever? And if not, and you want to see how good it can get, do the work, because it's worth it.
Thank you, Courtney.
So, love that.
Kathleen Flanagan, round us out.
I just wanted to say, for somebody who lived in invisibility her whole life, I was also told I was a crybaby because I cry all the time. And I stopped all that and I shut it all down because I got tired of being told I'm a crybaby because I feel everything. And what I've come to realize is it's okay that I cry. I may not still like it in my own mind, but I know that I'm feeling, I know that I'm alive, and it's worth it because that's part of who my chemistry is, who I am, what makes me who I am. And the higher I want to go, and I mean, we're talking high, and as high as I want to go, that means I'm going to go very deep inside of me to bring out even more of me. So part of the alignment work, it's hard work. You look at those demons inside of you, but they're not demons. It's just misunderstandings. And all this work did was bring so much more clarity. And it helps you to identify your emotions and what you're feeling and what is it that you want. And the moment that I felt safe, I can't tell you how far I've come. I had 3 podcasts going for the last month. Okay. For somebody who didn't want to be visible, oh my frigging God, I am out in the world and it freaked me out. And it's like, I'm doing it anyways. And it doesn't matter because it's feel the fear and do it anyways, because you have nothing to fear but fear itself. Another motto I've had my whole life is stepping through fear. And with this organization, I felt so held, especially when I was writing the chapter with Aiden, and I'm crying every single time I'm on the call with him. And every single time him and Amber said, you don't have to do the chapter. And I kept saying, yeah, but I do. And through all my tears, I had to do the chapter because there was something bigger down there that needed to come out. And that is what allowed the freedom that I felt, because I don't think I ever felt even knew what the word freedom meant until now. So you watch yourself evolve, you watch things change. My why is always going to be the same, but my values they keep expanding because I'm expanding. And that's what this work does. And this is such a beautiful work of listening to everybody and what their stories are. It's just touched me because I can relate to all of it. And there's a piece for everyone in this book. So thank you so much, Amber, for taking on this job.
Yes. I'm glad I listened to that whisper. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to share our book sales page briefly. I'm going to say thank you so much to each of the contributing authors. I'll ask Kathleen, Quinn, and Lynn Morgan Carpenter to please stay on with me, and to everyone else, I know we'll be celebrating just after this. So thank you again for being here and for your time. And I'm going to pull up the Anthology sales page one more time because people keep coming in and out of the live stream. Many will be watching on replay as well. But this is our book sales page. Infinite Impact, Stories of Alignment is releasing today. It looks like I might have dropped my screen. And so thank you so much for supporting us by ordering a copy, coming back here to opt in for your bonuses, including a 4-week group alignment program with me. The first week, we spend 2 hours in a room with these incredible people and their communities, where I will be personally getting you into alignment. Then we'll spend the next 3 weeks together, 90 minutes each week, to really unpack it and nurture you and help you with getting clarity and empowerment in this journey as well. And I'd like to give a special highlight to Kathleen, Quinn, and Lynn Morgan Carpenter, who have really gone above and beyond in this process and deserve a little bit of special attention here. So Kathleen and Lynn, thank you. And I'd like to, whoever wants to go first, I wanted to just give you a moment to just say what's in your heart in this moment to really share with everybody. Of course, leading with your avatar, but you have all of the authors here supporting you, and this world is desperately in need of this moment and your leadership. So what do you want to share with us about this process?
I see Lynn's muted, so I'll go ahead. Amber, your journey, I fell into your journey just after you had published the book. And May 14th last year, I've written on my calendar, Awaken to Joy, because I thought it was just the avatar I needed to do because I had everything else figured out. And you invited me to go deeper. And my joy is just so important to me. But I think the other thing that I want people to understand about this is when you can get in alignment, everything gets so much easier. Even the hard decisions get easier because you honor your values and you learn how to set boundaries, right? And what I try to do is create this trusted space where people can experience a transformation. And that's what I went through. And I just have to say, there are 3 people I want to acknowledge besides my 2 life champions, my sister, Mary Jo, and my late husband, Michael. But David Kessler, the grief expert, started me on this journey and taught me to grieve fully, to live fully, which is what I've been trying to do these last 4 years. He introduced me to Nancy Levin, who coached me, and I learned so much from her. And then I learned how to coach as she does, or like her. And she introduced me to you when I was looking for an avatar to promote myself, right? And I couldn't promote myself because I was too stuck. And what I realized through this process that I think is so important is that visibility is what was hard for me. And what I realized was my values demand me to be visible, and visibility isn't about me, it's about grace. It's about being present for grace. And now, like everyone's been saying, things have changed, workshops, podcasts, clients. so much that has changed, and that, it's not about promoting myself. It's about how I show up in the world. But I truly believe that you and Nancy and David Kessler were all angels sent to me by Michael. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Over. It's coming up for you, Lynn.
I'm just so happy to be here. I feel like, what a journey. I think that's really, I'm doing such reflection because, and Kathleen and I nearly shed tears when I learned that, her husband passed away of pancreatic cancer. My father, who passed away of pancreatic cancer 6 years ago. And that was really the catalyst of me stepping into the version of who I am today. And, I have had this long-term intimate relationship with my inner calling that I've gone on a journey with and have trusted. And after the passing of my dad, that calling came in, and I've gone on a journey to answer that. And it's been a journey, a lot on there, blessings, challenges, deep growth. And sometimes, like when we're growing, there's that growing pains, physical pain. And I think I woke up this morning just giving gratitude to it all, the blessings, the beauty, and also the discomfort, because there has been a lot of discomfort. And 1 year ago, what has helped in me going on this journey, 1 year ago, I did pick up this book, Infinite Impact. I always have it right here. And I started to feel a shift and a change. And so much so that I personally emailed Amber and I'm like, I want to know more of this. And I want to serve people with this. I want others to understand their alignment. And that's really what took me on this past year, being here, not knowing that I would then be meeting my, one of my desires of being a published artist. It is artistry.
It is.
It is. Published author. So I think really what's coming up is I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for everybody that has been on this journey with me. Amber, I think it's incredible, the work. I believe in this so much of the alignment. And I really encourage everyone to discover their alignment. I do see, it's a little utopic, but I do see the world that if everyone really knew their personal alignment and those key words that come out when you go through a 90-minute alignment session, this world just be a remarkable place. So that is what's coming up for me at this moment in time.
Yes, good. Thank you. And what I'd like to do is have each of you talk about the bonuses that you contributed and then how you work with people. And am I still sharing my screen? Let's see. Were you trying to say something, Kathleen? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I'll let you each share a little bit more about your bonuses and the way people work with you.
Okay. I have a couple of training videos. They're very short, like 6 minutes or so, that just cover what it is that alignment does, how it can have an impact to you, and then thirdly, what might be causing you to hold yourself back from doing it. I have an action guide, which is just a workbook in case you want to do it, not an A student. You don't have to fill it all out. And then I also have an offer to do alignment one-on-one with me at a discount. But I'll tell you, do it with Amber first and then come and I can help you, coach you through it afterward, because that's really powerful to do it in that setting. So those are my offers. And thank you so much, Amber.
Thank you, Kathleen.
And your whole team at NGNG, every single person.
Yes, thank you. That's meaningful. I appreciate that. Lynn.
Yeah, so I'm an intuitive transformation coach, certified alignment guide. So that's how I serve people in front of me. And really a big part is because I've had such a long journey with my personal inner calling and had such struggles in the early years of even understanding what it was and is. That's really where I love to serve, is that when a person has that internal calling, the whisper of more, really learning how to connect with it, to understand it, and then start to take action. And so in my bonus, Align with Your Inner Calling, it's really to help the individual, because at times when you get that whisper from her, it can be very confusing and disorienting. So helping them to understand that it's an energy of its own and how to tap into that energy and become one with it and start harnessing it and living it so that you're feeling that life of fulfillment and that you're feeling aligned in your life and aligned with the soul that came here and what you're meant to experience and how you're meant to evolve and how you're meant to have impact in others and in this world. Because I think it does really come down to that, Amber. That word impact is so important. I feel that at the root of most of us, all of us, we just want to know that we matter and that we do have impact. And I feel that when you go through an alignment session, you're able and get into alignment through Amber's work, you're able to identify exactly how you uniquely have impact in this world and how important you are and how we need you. And so that is my bonus. And again, I just want to say thank you.
Yes, awesome. So we are here on the book sales page. This is where you order. If you come back to collect your bonuses, that's when you will get access to the next steps with Kathleen and Lynn as well. Both of these lovely ladies will be joining me on stage. Tomorrow, we kick off with the Elevate Entrepreneurship Summit. So I really crammed it in this week. But we are meeting for 3 days in Boulder, Colorado. And part of the purpose behind this event is to have an in-person anthology book launch. So most of the authors that you got to experience today will be on stage celebrating with us. And then I'm going even deeper into Kathleen and Lynn's story at that time. We'll make sure to capture bits of it for social media. Of course, you can engage with them during the 4-week alignment program with their bonuses, or just in general, make sure you're following them on social media and learning a little bit more about the work that they do in the world. So ladies, I want to thank you so much for your support here. Kathleen, anything else that you in particular want to share, or do you feel complete? Okay, you're welcome, my love. Well, I'm going to bring us home here. And so hang on one quick second. I'm going to bring us home by saying just a few last words. And I want to thank you for sticking with me here all the way to the end. I do want to give a major shout out to Aiden DePrima, who is my partner on this project. And he is a writer, ghostwriter. I actually met him. He was the writer for Nick Sonnenberg's book, Come Up for Air, which is a phenomenal book. And I got the pleasure of working with Aiden during that book launch, and was one of more successful book launches. And luckily, Aiden and I continued to work together. And it was him, it was like, hey, I have this idea for the anthology, and I'd really love it if we could come to a way that you could help support these authors through their writing and editing process. And he was an enthusiastic all-in yes, as he is with all of our projects, which I really appreciate. And he just brings such wisdom and such precision to every single project. So I want to give him a major shout out. I refer a lot of my authors to him for editing their individual legacy books, and really excited to bring him into Boulder as well. As Kathleen said, I want to thank the NGNG team. They work very hard, and they are so they have the best attitudes and the best hearts of service, and they lead with absolute excellence. And they're just so willing to lean in and to love and to support. And I just, sometimes it feels so much like so big and so loving that I just can't believe that I even deserve it, which I know is a silly thing to say probably as the leader of this project, but it is truly shocking to be at this stage of my life, especially considering where things began. And please don't make the mistake of looking at somebody and making a single assumption about who you think they are or what they've been through. Because as you have observed today, we have all been through a lot to get to this moment, and you have too, and we recognize and honor that. I want to, last but not least, to thank Ashley Bunting and the print publishing production team, who have supported every single one of my books with such a degree of excellence and precision as well. They really just knock my socks off every single time and help me run my imprint, Strong Print Publishing, that my son Clay came up with that name, and I just love it. So thank you to everyone who supported this project. And I want to finally conclude with saying that, you know, in even as recent as 2021, I was out of alignment and didn't even know it because I hadn't done the deeper work to crystallize a lot of this content. But I do remember moments of just absolute frustration inside of me. And I thought, oh, I must just be tired. With a good night of sleep, I'll feel better and things will be different in the morning, except it sort of felt like Groundhog Day. And I was so grateful. I looked around, you know, and I had it all, right? I had the profitable business. I had the amazing team. I had an incredible husband, a healthy son, and, you know, all of this beauty around me. Why was I so frustrated? And every little thing, it just felt like it would set me off. And I spent so much time and energy just trying to manage my own emotions and trying to strong arm them and shush them away and push them down. And just, you know, remove that unpleasantness from my life because I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted things to be okay. And yet there was this growing frustration and it was exhausting. And as I aged, I thought, I can't keep this up forever. What am I going to do? So it really was a part of my preparation for this work to enter in. And so I just want to share that it, on the outside, it might look like you have it all. It's what happens on the inside in your most quiet, private moments when the truth starts whispering. Sometimes it's screaming, but usually it's a whisper. And it's an invitation to listen to what that whisper has to say, because if you don't listen, it will become an angry yell or something big will blow up in your life like it did in mine. And I think that with the right knowledge and awareness, I could have avoided all of that. And so this is a really important process to get to know yourself, to listen to those whispers, to trust what's coming up inside. You can't ignore it and avoid it forever. You just can't. That's part of the human journey. But I'll never forget when I got it into alignment, I really understood what that really meant. I'll never forget Alexis on my team flew out to Denver and we were thinking about starting a podcast. And so she created this wall for me just over here, and I'll show it to you in a moment. And she said, what color do you want the wall to be? And I was like, I don't care, whatever you want it to be. And in that moment, awareness came in because I was like, wow, I've always said that. You know, when anytime we would move into the next home, it would be like, what couch do you like? What art do you like? What color should we paint? I never had an opinion. It was like, well, whatever you want, whatever you like. I thought that was a good thing, that I was low maintenance. You know, I really prided myself about that. But actually it was because I just didn't know what I liked. Here's the girl that seemingly has it all, and I didn't even know what color I would want on a wall. And I remember this moment felt so big for me, like, oh shit, what color do I want on my podcast wall? And overthinking was an understatement. Okay. So it became a really big choice. And I'll share with you what it ended up looking like, thanks to Alexis. It's a purple wall over here. And she did that beautiful, I can't even remember what it's called now, but I'm bored. I can't remember. She'll probably make fun of me in this moment right now. And that's fine. Totally deserve it. But I picked the purple color, and I have to tell you, I look at it every single day and it just makes me come alive because I didn't just submit to somebody else. I don't know who I am. So will you take my power and make all of my choices for me? Because that's the way things used to go a lot of the time. And now I got right with me. I took my power back. And it wasn't about being selfish, and it's not about ego. It's actually just coming back to home. You know, the way your soul wants to play in the world. It wants to play with color and art and laughter and dancing and singing. And that is our nature. It's just a lot of times in our culture, especially in the US with the American dream, it's hustle culture. It's don't share your opinions culture, or you're going to get canceled culture. I mean, it's a pretty crazy place that we live in right now, but I'm here on a mission to help emerging leaders. And that's even you, Heather. Even if you're like, I don't know if I could ever write a book, who am I to say anything? I don't know if I have, but this whisper in me says there's something more for me, but I don't know if I'm the right person to do it. And I'm here to say, yes, you are. Let's go. Like, just come into my world and let's have a conversation. Let's listen to what that whisper is trying to say to you. Because can you even imagine if I didn't listen to that whisper back in December of 2023, the whisper that says it's time to write the book? None of this moment would not be happening if I didn't listen to that whisper. So to all of my Heathers out there, I hope you listen to that whisper and just take a step. And, that's why we dropped the price of the book to 99 cents. I want to make this a no-brainer. And I want to get you into my world. That's why I offered the 4-week group alignment program for free. I just want you to do the work. That's why I'm giving you my original book for free. I don't know what else to do to help you on your journey. I just need you to take the step and see what's here for you on the other side of all of this. So thank you to my team. Thank you to the authors. I am going to continue some promotion throughout the week, and I would beg you, please help us by leaving a review on Amazon. Just an honest review, sharing your experience of us through this live stream, which is all tied into the book anyway. You can read, of course, the Kindle immediately and leave a review, but leaving a review actually helps Amazon to open this up to new customers that really need this information and wouldn't get access to it otherwise. And from here, I am switching roles and going into my Elevate Entrepreneurship Summit. So my team is going to be capturing a lot of footage from that event, and you can kind of follow along if you are unable to attend live. Stay tuned, because on Saturday, I have a very special surprise announcement that I will be sharing on social media. And then on Sunday, it kicks off a 4-week daily post from me that is all going to be about business development coaching. So alignment is absolutely fundamental to get your voice into the world and helping those emerging leaders to find, trust, position, package, and amplify their voice to maximize their impact. Thank you again so much for staying to the end of this live stream. Amber Vilhauer signing off. Thanks, everyone.